All right, so before I start, I just hit 100 subscribers, so thank you everyone who subscribed. I never in my wildest dreams would have thought I would have even hit 100. Let alone, actually, I didn't expect that this channel would have gotten more than a few subscribers. So I realize in the grand scheme of things, 100 isn't a lot, but I didn't expect to even get that far. So thank you again, and let's get to today's article. And today's article is from Politico. Now, as we know, Trump has basically ticked off the entire world. So let's see. He ticked off Canada first by threatening tariffs, and then joking, not so much joking, about Canada becoming the 51st state. He ticked off Europe first because of threatening to attack Greenland, because, that's what we do in the 21st century, a la Putin. We threaten military force. He also, because a la Putin, because he's threatened that he basically is taking Putin's side, that the rest of Europe is scrambling to help Ukraine, because unlike the stable genius that Trump is, Europe understands that if they allow Ukraine to fall, that other countries could go down with Ukraine. And since the US is taking Russia's side, I highly doubt that the whole NATO thing is going to affect Trump. Actually, in his first term, he threatened to take the US out of NATO. So, yeah, there is that. Well, now he's managed to piss off Mexico, or at least get them thoroughly worried that there might be a military invasion. And that is because Trump has designated 3 drug cartels as a terrorist organization. So, that is a long, winding lead up to this article. Mexico to reform constitution in wake of U.S. terrorism designations. The move by the Trump administration has stirred worry that it could be a preliminary step toward U.S. military intervention on Mexican territory. Which, that's what we do with allies. We threaten everybody with military invasion. We threaten Canada, we threaten Europe, and now we're threatening Mexico. Why not? Mexico President Claudia Sheinbaum said Thursday she will propose constitutional reforms aimed at protecting Mexico's sovereignty after U.S. President Donald Trump's administration designated 6 Mexican drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. Oops, I cut it in half. It's 6 instead of just 3. The U.S. designations have stirred worry in Mexico that it could be a preliminary step toward U.S. military intervention on Mexican territory in pursuit of the cartels, something Mexico sharply rejects. As they should, what the heck? The Mexican people will not accept under any circumstances interventions, interference, or any other act from abroad that could be harmful to the integrity, independence, and sovereignty of the nation, Sheinbaum said. On Thursday, the designation of 8 Latin American based criminal organizations was published in the U.S. Federal Register, carrying out a January 20th executive order by Trump. The U.S. hopes that designation, something usually reserved for terrorist groups with political rather than economic objectives, will increase pressure on the groups. Sheinbaum said during her daily press briefing Thursday that Mexico also wouldn't allow outside involvement in investigations or prosecutions without authorization and collaboration of the Mexican government, which you would think that would be self-explanatory. So, yeah, and before anybody says, oh, but we did not do that with Pakistan, again, going against Osama bin Laden. True, we didn't, but he literally masterminded 9/11. So, yeah, it's kind of different. And also, unlike Mexico, which, there are some corrupt officials, just like in this country, there are corrupt officials. But, Pakistan, I can see why people question whether if the US gave them a heads up that they wouldn't try to help bin Laden. So I could see that being a problem. But I don't think the Mexican government would actually do that. So there's that. Former President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, Sheinbaum's predecessor, had already written into Mexican law limits to how foreign agents could operate in Mexico, limiting their independence and requiring that Mexican authorities be informed of their movements. Sheinbaum proposes enshrining those limits in the Constitution. So, basically, she's going to make it hard for future administrations to overrule these laws, but I'm not sure if in the grand scheme of things against the US that actually matters. But anyway, what we want to make clear in the face of this designation is that we do not negotiate sovereignty, Sheinbaum said. This cannot be an opportunity for the United States to invade our sovereignty. Her administration also proposed reforming the Constitution to apply the most severe penalties available under law to foreigners involved in the building, smuggling, and distribution of guns. Which I love because, let's face it, where do these drug cartels get the guns? From Americans. From the U.S. Mexico has long demanded that the U.S. do more to prevent the flood of guns into Mexico from U.S. gun shops and manufacturers. It's funny that Trump is trying to be the strong man and, stop the flow of immigrants, or we'll do this, that, and the other thing. But he doesn't seem to give a shit that these cartels are getting guns from the US. I mean, they wouldn't be nearly as lethal if they couldn't get unfettered access to these guns. So, yeah. Of course, no other administration was able to do that either. Of course, Biden did try to limit guns, but, we have way too many people who are in love with their guns. Her Morena party and its allies hold majorities in both chambers of Congress and have been able to pass a number of other constitutional reforms. Okay. Oh, so that is the end of that article. I, for some reason, thought it was going to be longer. So, yeah. Yeah, things are getting pretty interesting. Ironically, in the case of Europe, Trump wanted the NATO countries to spend more because he felt like the US was paying for everybody, ignoring the fact that we're the richest country in the world. And by threatening to pull out of NATO, by doing what he's doing, and by Putin doing what he's doing, they're actually getting Europe to do what they initially wanted, which is to spend more. I don't think either one expected Europe to do it. I think they expected that they wouldn't be able to, so the US would have a perfect excuse to pull out of NATO. And, so they're unintentionally getting what they wanted. With Canada, Canada is known for being really friendly and very nice, always. But this is testing their limits. And now with Mexico, again, an ally. And so we're threatening them with military action because they're not doing everything we want them to, or what Trump thinks he wants them to. Because I'm not sure he even understands what exactly he wants or needs. But anyway, that is the end of that article, and with that, I will see you guys in the next video.